Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about a bucket list trip and how that might look with flights in first class. Now we know those are all really expensive, but I've got some tricks here that might just help make it a little bit more palatable for you. So the bucket list trip is to Auckland, New Zealand, and then go all the way around the world and come back to the home base in Vienna. Now maybe it's because I really always wanted to do first class on Emirates, and you can see why. Chauffeur, great amenities, great lounges. The suite, it's really about the suite. I can't tell you how much I want to go in the suite. So, Dom Perignon and some just great food. So that's kind of the baseline for how we're going to look at this. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the cheapest way to do it. So actually what I think we're going to do is we're going to start with ChatGPT, because living in Europe you have an awful lot of airports and you can try to go different places. So what I've done is I've actually prepared a couple of prompts here, and we're going to start with that. So I was thinking, can you get the airfare in first class for a one-way ticket on Emirates from Vienna or Budapest to Auckland on a certain date? Okay, that didn't give me any prices, and I said, okay, I'm going to try to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to use the Emirates site, but I'm going to try to build a list first of all, because I think there are going to be limits of what people want to do to travel to get to an airport to save money. It depends how much money. But let's look at this first front. So just, give me a list of all the cities within a 500-mile radius of Vienna that Emirates flies to. And that's the key. It has to be Emirates. So ChatGPT does a really nice job, and boom, within 500 miles, you have these cities, and right away you can see Budapest, only 133 miles away, Prague, Munich, Zagreb, Venice. So yeah, let's see what our next step was. So let's make this into a table, because I want to put this into Google Sheets and make this a little bit easier to see. So ChatGPT is really good at making tables. And you can see right away what I did. I said, give me different columns, get me the airport codes, put Vienna first because I want to have that as my baseline, and then we go from there. Now, I noticed that they had the euro symbol instead of EUR, and there's a function in Google Sheets that actually is a Google Finance function that will do live currency conversions for you. So something to keep in mind as we move. So we're going to replace that euro symbol with EUR. Okay, so now it's building that table again. All right, always says, let me know if you need more. And we're seeing, there are a bunch of cities here, Munich, Zagreb. I wanted to know, well, I had done this once before, and it gave me, Lanark, Cyprus, Athens. I wanted to include Zurich and give me all the distances, column for the distance from Vienna. I want to see this again the way we had it before, distance from Vienna. There we go. Okay, in kilometers. So yeah, we had that before with the miles. Now it's done it in. All right, so I ran into a limit here with ChatGPT, but I've done this before. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically say, I'm going to copy this table over to Google Sheets. And we're going to plop that down. And since, like I said, I've done this before, I'm just going to jump right over to the sheet that I worked on. And that sheet contains already the prices. So first city is Budapest. We got Vienna down here. And all the prices are here for all of those flights. I actually went out and manually did it. I'm really hoping to find a way, I think it's make.com, some automation software would be really great to do this, to be able to say, okay, I want to pick a city. I want to pick London and give me all the airports in the UK, and then see if there's any advantage of flying out of, Edinburgh or out of Birmingham or wherever Emirates might fly. So the table's now built, as you can see, and we can see that Vienna came in at $7,800 one way, Vienna, Dubai, Auckland, and it's first class, both legs. But then we see that actually Budapest, which is actually the closest city that Emirates flies to, nearest to Vienna, came in at 6,100 euros. That's 1,700 euros less, a savings of 22%. What I was talking about earlier about using the formulas here, once we get this full automation going for being able to try to find the cheapest first class flights anywhere in the world, I'd like to build this out where it could be a tool where you could say just plop in your city, give a radius about how far away you'd like to still be able to go, because in Europe with the trains and the fast trains and the low cost of trains, you can get from city to city really easy, and I'll show you that in just a second here. So the local currency was 2.4 million Hungarian forints, and the formula, which you can see up here, is just basically a Google Finance that says, give me currency of the Hungarian forints and convert it into euros. And it does that beautifully and gives me 6,008. This is 6125. It's close. I think right now there's going to be these slight variations as we kind of do this in real time here. And you can look, Zagreb actually came in another 200 lower, 130 lower. So it actually had a higher percentage, but there was a difference here. It was mixed class. It was actually business class from Zagreb to Dubai, and then first class for the 14.5 hours from Dubai to Auckland. Now, if you're in Zurich, you're really getting raked over the coals on this. I mean, look, 9,770, that's a full 25% more than Vienna. And if we were to change this here and say, we're gonna make Zurich the baseline and just update our formula just a little bit. Now that's the zero, because that's the baseline price, and then we go up here and look at that. Budapest is now 37% cheaper, 3,600 euros for one person on first class, just from Zurich to Budapest. So now what I think we need to do is say, okay, but Zurich ain't Budapest. It's almost 600 miles away. You know how inexpensive local flights are in Europe. I can fly from Vienna to Spain for 50 bucks on Ryanair. It ain't comfortable, but it's cheap. Now, you can also do the trains. So like for me here in Vienna, I can go over to Trainline and say, okay, I'm gonna go from Vienna to Budapest on the morning of my flight. And basically this will return 19 euros and 20 cents for one adult to go from the Vienna Hauptbahnhof, the main train station, over to Budapest Keleti. So that's a great deal. So what am I saving? I'm saving from Vienna to Budapest, I'm saving 1,700 euros by taking a 19 euro train ride. Now, if we look at Zurich, again, timed out, trying to do this in real time, but just so you can see how easy it is to try to figure out lower cost alternatives for taking a really great flight. And now it's just taking a second, but I think we're seeing 56 pop up. So 56 euros. You'd have to go the night before, probably. 56 to 86 euros. And you'd probably get in very late at night. If you went a little earlier, you'd probably have to spend for a hotel. But 86 and maybe 100 for the hotel, you're talking tops 200. But you would be saving 3,650 euros by doing it that way. So adding one day to the front of your trip in some cases, or maybe even just a few hours, as in the case of Vienna to Budapest, you can see that there's some pretty tremendous savings possible. Now, if we want to look at flights where you say, maybe I'll find a cheap way to get to Dubai because it's only 5.5 hours, maybe I can just do a cheap economy, and then I'll fly first class from Dubai to Auckland. It doesn't help. It's almost 8,000 euros for that one leg. So that's definitely not helping me. And then the other thing was, all right, well, what if I do a round trip? Well, the round trip to Vienna and back is 12,589. Okay, so that's great. It's all first class, lovely. But if I'm already in Auckland, I've already kind of, I think, gone past halfway or almost exactly halfway, and with the prevailing winds, it's probably a lot longer, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours longer to fly back that way Why not just extend the trip and fly from New Zealand to LA and then back to Europe? You know, once I'm in the States, maybe I've got some mileage plus miles from my United account that I can use to get back home. And then somehow we're getting to this trip without spending a whole lot of extra money. So first class, it's a nice to have. I'd love to do it. Everybody knows how great it is on Emirates. But yeah, definitely something worth looking into to build the spreadsheet. I'll put the prompts down in the description below on how I built this table. And yeah, the prices here in euros I just got from doing a basic flight search here on the Emirates website. Now you could use Google Flights, and again, I'd love to do more with automation, with using some AI tools and prompts, and maybe that site I was talking about, I think is it Make.com? Yeah. So this is the site I've been seeing so much about, workflow for automating web processes. And I think at the end of the day, I'd like to build this out to the point where we could say, let's build an automation here. Let's build a workflow. People can enter their home airport. They can determine a radius that they'd love to be able to fly from if it's going to save them a lot of money. And then the integration between Make and ChatGPT and Google Sheets, and could build out this AI tool for finding inexpensive first-class flights. Just a side note, one more airport in the general area of Europe. So if you're in Spain or Italy, Naples, Rome, you can fly into Tunisia in an hour for fairly little money. And the flights in my research from Tunisia to Dubai and beyond, whether it's Auckland in this case, or Singapore or Perth or wherever you're going, are considerably less. They're about on the same level as the Budapest fares. So really interesting thing. And then there was one more thing to look at. All right, so one more thing we want to talk about is the Dubai Connect, and that's going to be the last thing for today. Dubai Connect from Emirates is a really great program. If you have a longer layover, and it's changed a little bit, but basically we're talking about, does my stopover qualify? And the time of 10 to 24 hours qualifies. So actually they brought it down a little bit from 8 hours. Even better. So if you're traveling in premium economy or economy class, if you are traveling in first or business class, the connecting stopover time is 6 hours. All right, what do you get for this? You get a hotel stay. You get a complimentary visa. A complimentary coach will take you to and from the hotel. All right, and you can easily book this online right here on the page. And I will put this link in the description below so you can find that. So again, basically any layover in Dubai, and now we're talking about first class today, so anything over 6 hours, and they're gonna put you up if need be. So I think from some of the cities, I think from Budapest, it was a 10.5 hour layover. So why not go into Dubai, see the Burj Khalifa, you know, have some great kebab someplace, and then let them drive you back out to the airport for a wonderful flight wherever else you are going. So that's it for today. First class, Emirates, trying to build an automated model here, a little bit manual at this point, how to get the cheapest flights, and understanding that airports in your vicinity may be significantly less expensive, as you can see here, with Budapest being already 1,700 euros, or about 25% cheaper than flying out of Vienna, and it's only a $20 train ride and 2 hours down the river from Vienna to Budapest. So hope you enjoyed this, hope you try it out, provide some feedback, let me know what you found close to your airports, and we'll see how this tool develops. Take care and see you next time.